He sat alone in a freezing apartment in Luton, England. No heat, no money, a used laptop, a broken fridge, and a pile of unpaid bills that wouldn't stop growing. At one point, Andrew Tate had $27 in his bank account, and now he owns casinos, drives Bugattis, and has been Googled more than Elon Musk. Hate him or admire him, his story isn't fiction. And whether you agree with his views or not, you can't deny the transformation, because this is the story of a man who went from kickboxing for scraps to becoming a multimillionaire internet icon, built not on luck, but strategy, shock value, and unapologetic self-belief. The world watched him rise, but most people have no idea what it actually took to get there. This isn't about agreeing with everything he says. It's about learning the blueprint behind his rise, the tools, platforms, mindset, and monetization strategy that made it all possible. If you're serious about creating freedom in your life, and you're tired of playing small, follow this channel, because we don't just tell stories. We break down how these empires are really built. Before the Bugattis, before Hustlers University, before he became the most Googled man on earth, Andrew Tate was invisible. He wasn't born famous. He wasn't born into money. He was born into chess. His father, Andrew Tate, was a war machine of mind, a chess grandmaster who could beat 5 men simultaneously blindfolded. He was respected in underground circles, admired by competitors, feared on the board, but broke. My father was a genius, Andrew says, but genius doesn't always pay rent. Andrew Tate was a kind of father who taught life in lessons, not lullabies. There were no bedtime stories. Instead, chess puzzles, quotes from Sun Tzu, and hard truths about the world. He taught Andrew to analyze everything, to play 5 moves ahead, to expect pain and never let it show. But the genius came with a storm. Tate's early years were unstable. His father was brilliant, but also intense, unpredictable. His mother, a humble, resilient English woman, tried to hold things together. Eventually, she couldn't anymore. She packed up the kids and left. They landed in Luton, England, a far cry from Washington, D.C. Cold, gray, working class, not the kind of place where people make it. They moved into council housing, Britain's version of the projects. A small box of a home, paper-thin walls, leaky pipes. Andrew shared a bedroom with his brother, Tristan, and often went to sleep cold. Their mother worked day shifts and night shifts. Minimum wage, just enough for bread and canned beans. No car, no luxuries, no safety net. They were alone, no father figure, no help. And Andrew, he didn't become a victim. He became a weapon. He grew up fighting, not for sport, for survival. He fought kids who insulted his mom. He fought teachers who disrespected him. He fought himself, in his own head, to push through depression, poverty, and hopelessness. He learned early, no one is coming to save you. At 15, he discovered kickboxing, and it consumed him. He trained in dirty, underground gyms. No fancy trainers, no nutritionist, just blood, sweat, and spit on the mat. He'd go running at 5 a.m., often in the rain. He hit the bag until his knuckles bled. He shadowboxed in the mirror of their council home, visualizing championship belts. By 20, he was a fighter, a real one. He traveled Europe, slept in cheap motels, ate tuna from a can. He wasn't doing it for glory. He was doing it because it was all he had. And then he won. He became a world kickboxing champion multiple times. He thought that title would change everything, but it didn't. You know what being world champion paid him? $10,000. Split over months. After taxes, gear, travel, he barely had enough for groceries. He was back to broke. Worse, he was broke with no plan B, no savings, no job, no degree, just scars, trophies, and a mountain of bills. He was in his early 20s, sleeping on a mattress on the floor in a freezing apartment in Luton, the kind of cold that bites through socks, the kind of broke where you open the fridge, and there's nothing, not a metaphor, literally, nothing. And that's when he snapped. He looked around and said, I will never live like this again. Ever. He opened his old laptop, cracked screen and all, and typed into Google, "How to Make Money Online." That search started a fire. He tried everything, drop shipping, but hated the lack of control, crypto trading, but didn't have enough capital to move the needle, freelance writing, but the pay was peanuts, affiliate marketing, needed a platform first. Then came the idea that would change everything. He noticed something on cam sites. Some girls were making thousands. Others, barely anything. He realized the difference wasn't looks. It was the system behind them. So he built that system. Andrew and Tristan launched a webcam empire. They didn't just hire girls. They trained them, created sales scripts, handled client chats, built websites, designed funnels, optimized every word, every image, every click. It was part business, part psychology experiment. People think it was just about sex. No, it was about attention and understanding human desire. They scaled fast. Within months, they had dozens of models, multiple locations, recurring customers. Andrew went from $100 in his account to $100,000 per month. But he didn't stop. He reinvested every dollar. He learned about persuasive writing, email funnels, branding, sales psychology. He bought real estate, opened casinos, built income stacking systems, and started shaping his online identity. That's when he noticed something even bigger. People online weren't making money because they were too soft. They were soul comfort, safety, normalcy. He said, comfort is the killer of ambition. No one gets rich being cozy. So he built a persona, bold, masculine, confident. He said the things most men thought, but wouldn't dare say. And the internet exploded. He didn't just chase virality. He engineered it. He studied the algorithm, learned what went viral and why, built an army of affiliates reposting his content, created Hustlers University, a digital school with a revenue model that spread like wildfire. But it all started in a cold flat in Luton with a busted laptop, a world champion belt collecting dust, and a man who refused to be ordinary. Andrew Tate wasn't just rich. He was loud. He didn't whisper advice behind a paywall. He shouted it from the rooftops. The Matrix wants you weak. They want you poor. They want you obedient. It was provocative. It was polarizing. And it went viral. But here's the part the media missed. He engineered that virality. It wasn't accidental. It was a strategy. Tate knew the algorithm better than most Silicon Valley insiders. He studied patterns, trends, triggers. He didn't just post. He replicated himself. He launched a system called the War Room, and inside it, hundreds of followers were trained to post Tate clips everywhere. On TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, thousands of micro-content clips, chopped from interviews and monologues, flooding the internet. And it worked. You couldn't scroll 10 seconds without seeing me. That was by design. Every time someone clicked a Tate video, the algorithm pushed 5 more. And every time someone hated it, they shared it, which made it go even further. In the middle of that storm, Tate launched what became his most successful product. Not a college, not accredited, but to thousands of young men, it was more valuable than any degree. He taught how to make money online, copywriting, freelancing, crypto, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, content distribution, mindset. The lessons weren't taught by professors. They were taught by people doing the work, verified earners. At its peak, Hustlers University had 160,000 plus members, each paying $49 a month. Do the math. That's nearly $8 million per month in recurring revenue. And remember, Tate wasn't paying for ads. The internet was doing his marketing for free. But not everyone was clapping. Mainstream media came in hard. News outlets began publishing hit pieces. Journalists labeled him toxic, dangerous, misogynistic. Some called him a cult leader, others a con man. And then came the bans. In August 2022, Tate was wiped off the internet, banned from Instagram, banned from Facebook, banned from YouTube. banned from TikTok. Even Stripe and Airbnb dropped him. Within 24 hours, he went from being everywhere to being nowhere. But here's the twist. They tried to cancel me, but all they did was confirm my message. Because the bans only made him bigger. Newspapers printed his name daily. News segments played his clips, the same clips they banned. His haters became his distributors. And his followers? They saw the bans not as censorship, but as proof that he was telling the truth. He pivoted. Tate launched his own platform, The Real World, hosted on independent servers. No big tech interference. No censorship. He continued Hustlers University under a new brand, even more advanced, more protected. He made sure his payment processors couldn't cancel him again. He moved deeper into crypto, bought more real estate, became almost untouchable. Behind the flash, there was a deeper strategy. Tate wasn't just creating a brand. He was building a digital nation. Currency, crypto, laws, his rules, education, his curriculum, media, his content channels, identity, the war room and brotherhood. And it was working. Even when Romanian authorities arrested him in 2022, Tate didn't fold. He tweeted from jail, posted chess strategies, quoted Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. They can cage the body, but not the mind. His supporters rallied. Free Top G trended on Twitter. Clips of his speeches flooded TikTok again, this time posted by other people. And when he was released, he came back bigger than ever. He bought more Bugattis, built mansions, launched new businesses. He gave interviews to top YouTubers, started his own podcast, began mentoring select followers in private masterminds. And all the while, he kept saying the same thing. They hate me because I remind you that you're powerful. Andrew Tate didn't just get rich. He engineered a mindset. He built a digital empire off conviction, structure, and speed. Love him or hate him. There's something anyone can learn from how he executed his plan. Because behind the Bugattis and bravado, there was a strategy. And here's how it unfolded. First, he crafted a polarizing identity. Tate never tried to be liked by everyone. He chose a tribe and ignored the rest. He created an us versus them mentality that built loyalty. His message was clear. If you don't want to be broke, weak, and depressed, you're my audience. If you do, keep scrolling. He repelled as many people as he attracted, and that's exactly why his message spread so fast. The takeaway here is simple. If you try to appeal to everyone, you'll reach no one. Choose your point of view and own it, even if it sparks controversy. Then, he used short-form content to go viral. Tate didn't go viral by accident. He created a repeatable system. He would say something bold during a podcast or video. Affiliates would cut it into short clips. Those clips would be posted on TikTok and Instagram with affiliate links to Hustlers University. Every new sign-up made those affiliates money, and Tate gained massive attention without posting anything himself. This wasn't just content. It was distribution. People were paid to share his message, and they did it by the thousands. The lesson? Don't just post. Create a reason for others to post for you. Most people sell courses or ebooks, but Tate's sole belief, his message was about escaping the matrix, becoming rich, getting strong, and becoming a high-value man. People weren't just buying a product. They were joining a mission. They were becoming part of a movement. He sold transformation. He made people feel like joining him was a statement of who they were. And when the social media giants banned him, he didn't panic. He pivoted. Tate already owned his email list, his payment systems, his video hosting, his community. He didn't rely on YouTube or TikTok to run his business. That's why the bans couldn't stop him. He even rebranded his platform. Hustlers University became the real world. It was hosted on private servers, outside of big tech. He kept growing while others got silenced. Tate expanded from a single course into an entire ecosystem. There was digital education, networking, podcasts, physical products, and more. Each part led into the next. He built a complete online world where loyalty and belief turned into money and influence. What can you take from this? Build your identity. Choose a message. Post every day. Start selling early. Help others win. Don't rely on one platform. Create systems that let you grow even when things get hard. Whether you want to build a brand, start a business, or just make money online, the tools are there. And all you need to begin is a smartphone and a mission. If this story opened your eyes, follow this channel now. We break down how real people built income, impact, and freedom from scratch. No hype, no gimmicks, just strategy, execution, and belief. Drop a comment and tell us what your mission is. Let this be your first step towards something real. Let's build it together.